Hey all, this is the next part of my engine build series. Um, just wanted to show you a quick update on the cylinder heads. I just got them back from the shop and they look pretty darn good. There's the new Z06 valve springs, as you can see. Um, and there's the underside of the new head. It looks gorgeous. Way better than what I was trying to do myself. So for 300 bucks it was completely worth it. He even got the old exhaust manifold bolts out, so that was nice too. But I mean, just look at how nice and clean that is. It's just perfect. He did take off 0.02 of an inch, I think, off the cylinder head surface. So, but he did a valve job and all that as well. So, just wanted to show you real quick how they look. Totally worth the money. Way better than I could have done myself. So, perfect. Alright, so in this portion I'm probably going to talk about the oil pans. As you can see, I got the Holley oil pan. I've been going back and forth about getting this pan. Originally I wanted to cut the oil pan, the original truck oil pan, but I kind of decided against that. So. Alright, so what I was saying about the oil pans is I finally decided to go with the Holley pan. And I was originally going to cut the stock truck pan, but as you can kind of see, probably easier just to spend the money and get the right pan for the job, you know. So originally I was going to try to cut this pan, as you can kind of tell with the masking tape, but anyway, so just kind of wanted to show you my first impressions, and then I'll go ahead and install it and maybe show you some of that as well. But first impressions, new pan is made in China, obviously. You know, not a fan of that, but oh well. I think I spent about $350 or so on this pan. Comes with all the hardware here in this bag. It does come with the baffle plate as well. I'll put that in and just take some measurements here for you. So I think this is probably what everybody really wants to know, is how they actually compare. Again, I think this is the 07-08 Silverado truck pan. And I'll just take some general measurements for you just to kind of compare. The depth on this pan, is about 8 inches. Depth on the new pan is a little over 5. So quite a significant increase if you're looking for that low profile, kind of like I am. What else here? Okay, so that's the depth. I'll flip them over and kind of actually, so the camera can see. Show side by side here. This is significantly lighter. At least it feels that way for me. Maybe that's just my imagination. The actual, I don't know what you call it, maybe the tray length is a little bit longer on the Holley pan. It's about 9 3/4 ish in length compared to about 8 3/4 on this one. So it's about an inch longer, which I don't hope that won't hit the cross member, but I guess we'll have to see. Let's see. I guess height here and towards the middle is about 3.5 inches. They look like they're about the same. It's about 3 inches on this one, so it's got about a 1/2 inch advantage. I think that's pretty much it. The front height here is about 2.5. On this pan, it's hardly even noticeable. It's maybe an inch at most. Yeah, so that's the differences between the two. Other than that, I mean, I like the finish on it. It looks good. We'll see how it fits in the car once I get the engine in the car. Hopefully, there's no issues with the cross member hitting it on the the engine subframe. I guess cross member on this portion here. So we'll see what happens once I get it in the car. The part number on this is the new generation pan. This is the Holley 3022. So it is the newer one. I think the older one had a little bit shorter length on the tray, but other than that, it's the newer style. To get the gasket off of the old pan, I just wanted to see how it went. But there's like 2 pop rivets on the gasket that you have to pop off on the pan. It wasn't really hard. I just drilled through them real quick and it got off the got the gasket off, so it was no issue if you want to use the stock pan. I did get the I did get some new I did get a new gasket for it. Obviously, I definitely wouldn't skip on that. So the part number for this is, I got this off of Tags. It's the one-piece oil pan gasket. It's 210890. It looks like it fits. I'll tell you if it doesn't once I do the install, but I think this is the right one. It's the one that they definitely encourage that you get with when you ordered the pan anyway, so it should fit, so we'll see. Oh, just another side note, I did get I also got the head gaskets. So here's the head gaskets. I can put the part number in that as well to link it in the description. But I guess they're universal for each side. They're the same gasket. So zoom in on the part number there. It's 12589226. So that's the part number for the head gaskets. Not sure how thick they are. Once I put the heads on, I can always try to measure those and give you a more exact number. The other thing with putting the heads on, I know I'm kind of bouncing around here, but I just wanted to mention that you do need these dowel pins. There's 4 of them, and the part number is 12570326. So I'll kind of zoom in on those as well. But these are the dowel pins that you need to put the heads back on. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the oil pan on and see how far we get. Hey y'all, so just wanted to show you the install process of the windage tray, oil pan, and hopefully front cover if I can get to it today. But one of the things I wanted to note right off the bat is that for this particular windage cover, I don't know if it's just the one I have or what, but based on what the kit says, it only tells you, and I'll kind of show you, it only tells you to make a small notch in the front of the windage tray, which is right here. So I tried that, and that wasn't nearly enough. So what I had to do was I had to trim it all the way like back here, and that finally worked and allowed the pickup tube connection point to kind of sit flat. But just an item of note, I don't know, as I said, I don't know if it's with this windage tray, because it says if you use the F-body windage tray, you shouldn't have to make any modifications, but maybe it's just this windage tray, I'm not really sure, since this is a Gen 4 engine. But as you can see, kind of the pickup tube is really low right here in the front part of the engine, and then it goes up right here. So I just ended up taking off a lot more than they had recommended. Hopefully that doesn't make a big difference. I don't think it will. But just an item of note, that 1 inch that the kit kind of tells you to do, I ended up taking off way more than that. I don't know, maybe almost 6 inches there, I'd say, probably. But anyway, just an item of note, and now I guess I'll go ahead and start putting this guy back together. Alright, so I got all my Windage tray nuts out, so I'm gonna go ahead and put those guys on here. Alright. So it says the torque spec for these guys is 18 foot-pounds. I have this guy already set, so let's see what that is here. Doesn't seem like much. So that's good. Now I guess we'll go ahead and put the oil pan on. Alright, well, as I said, we were going to do the oil pan, but I think I may have gotten a little ahead of myself, and there's a correct order that I think you need to do this in. And first things first, I think you need to put this front cover on. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I think the key part here that I can pick out of the engine book is that you want to have it perfectly level with the pan sealing surface, which obviously makes sense, but it has to be perfect, otherwise you're going to have leaks probably. So I got my straight edge here. I'll make sure that that's nice and even. This may take a while, depending. We'll have to see. But I already kind of got it started, so I'm going to finish putting the bolts in there. They're torqued to 18 foot-pounds as well. And then I'm going to make sure that it's nice and even with the pan sealing surface. So I'll go ahead and get started on that. Loosen these guys up so I can adjust. Maybe. My only concern here is that having that those spacers for that aftermarket timing chain, hopefully it doesn't push the oil pump out far enough where it contacts this timing cover, but we'll see. Alright, these guys are going to get tightened down to 18 foot-pounds, as I had said earlier. Sorry for the noise. I do live by the airport, so the planes are flying over today. Alright, I'm just going to double check this. See, it's way higher than where I had it. I'm gonna redo this. I'm not happy with this. So I'm not 100% sure here, but what I think might be happening is that it's hanging up on the oil pump inside and forcing it up, or down I guess in this case. But what I'm going to try to do is maybe tighten these ones up top first, and hopefully that'll keep it, force it down. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm still not happy with this. I think there's too much of a gap here. I can see daylight, and it says 0.02, I think, of an inch. That they could be misaligned, or I guess off of each other. Personally, I don't like this, but I don't know if it's the oil pump bolts that are forcing this thing down off of it, or what, or maybe it's the pickup too. I'm not really sure, but the only thing I can think of is maybe I'll just put some RTV along here and hope that'll keep it from leaking, because I really don't think there's anything else I can do. So I guess I'll go ahead and put the pan on and maybe put some RTV on here and see how well it lines up then. Okay, so I'm going to take a break for that. I'm still not happy with it. In the book they use a special tool, which is basically just a bracket to keep these two surfaces flush while they install it. So what I'm going to do is try something different. I'm going to try and put the pan on first, since this is hanging a little bit lower. I'm going to try to put in, and then it forces itself up. So what I'm going to try to do is put the pan on first, and then hopefully that'll bring it up flush with the pan, and I won't have to do any other modification. So we'll give that a try. But so it says to put RTV in each of the 4 corners, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now set the gasket on. I think this is going to be a one-shot type deal. I don't get another try at this, so I got to do it right. No pressure. Pickup tube is going to go in this baffle here. That could be a problem if it's hitting the window tray. Alright, so I'm in kind of a tricky situation here. Looks like the windage tray is hitting the front portion of the pan. I guess that's something I didn't think about when I was doing this. So either got to give it a different windage tray, or I can try to massage this one and maybe a little bit and make it fit. So I'm going to try to do that first. Okay, so as I mentioned, I didn't mismatching parts like I've been kind of doing here is clearly not the way to go. And as ridiculous as I instead of getting a new windage tray, all I did was just cut a little side off of it, or just cut it and allow it to bend, and then I put the pan on and I forced the front down and then pushed the back down so it would force it to bend down. So the question is, will it actually work? It's pretty tight down there. Let me see if it'll actually crank over without hitting. This is... yeah, I don't think that's gonna work because it sounds like it's rubbing. Okay, so sorry for the delay. It's getting late, it's getting dark. I really don't know how much else I'm going to be able to get finished tonight. But back to my original issue. As I was afraid of, the timing chain does rub the timing cover. As you can see here, it looks like it's rubbing that little nub, which is where the sensor goes. It's the screw hole for the sensor. But it looks like there's enough there to where I can probably round this out a little bit and kind of clean that off, and so it won't rub. But that's what I was hearing, that was the issue. So I'm going to go ahead and try to clean that up, and hopefully we can resolve this. I'd hate to send this back and try to find another one, because I think this will work. I just need to round off this edge a little bit and clean it up. So let me try that, and we'll try again.